session. We're expecting the session to begin in the next few minutes, so sit back and relax. Now, I'd like to tell you it's bright and sunny and we're enjoying some lovely warm weather for free practice today, but unfortunately, Anthony Davidson, someone's got the weather gods in an angry mood, and I think it's going to be a damp one.
Well, don't look at me, Crofty. I was hoping for a dry session like everyone else, especially the engineers down in the pit lane. They'll be the ones with the biggest concerns, as a lot of the answers they're looking for in terms of car setup and aero balance will now have to wait until it's dry. From a driver's point of view, there's a big responsibility when driving in these conditions during a pre-practice session, as there's very little to gain but a lot to lose, especially if you lose control of the car and end up damaging it. And if that does happen, it can put you on the back foot for the remainder of the weekend.
We're going to be logging some extra data during this session. Nothing you need to worry about, but as we have some new parts, we'll just confirm they're performing to spec.
Welcome to a wet Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez circuit for the F1 2018 career mode for the Mexican Grand Prix. Looks like this session is the only session we're going to have to deal with wet weather, sadly. That's okay. Got some objectives. We gotta make sure downforce is okay. Since it's going to be raining.
Recommend taking the wet tyres in the current conditions?
I'm trying to see how long this rain's gonna last. That's gonna be the 15 minutes in the session. It's gonna rain. Gonna rain. If it rains throughout the session, we've just lost 2 sets of dry tires. Oh no, it's gonna be intermediates for 30 minutes. I would rather sit half the session. Okay, so it'll be dry in about half an hour, in about 45 minutes. So instead of doing the practice deals, we're actually just gonna go out there and just try to get some laps in the wet conditions. But yes, welcome back to Mexico. I did not expect to be doing free practice 1 in wet conditions, but that's okay. There's the podium over here to the right. So we're gonna have to sit still as far as that's concerned. We're actually gonna take an engine penalty after free practice 3. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the rain. I'm just going to be flat out honest here with you guys. Like I said, I know Brazil could be either wet or dry. And Abu Dhabi, I know it's going to be dry because, hello, we're in the middle of the damn desert, so what do you expect? I think we all know the desert races, Abu Dhabi and Bahrain, are going to be always dry as usual. So, no surprises there. But the rest of the tracks, it's going to be interesting. Of course, the tire compounds we...
Okay, radar suggests this weather isn't going anywhere. Let us know when you've burned through those tyres and want to dry off a bit. We'll keep another set ready to go.
I just want to get a lap in. And then just sim through the first part of free practice. Okay, the team objective for downforce is complete. At least we only have to deal with this wet weather for this session until it starts to dry. So the good news is the weather will be dry the rest of the weekend. Sucks we have to go out in this session, but hey, nothing you can do about it from a competitor's perspective. Just try to get some laps done, and then once it stops raining, then we can go ahead and start working on our practice situation. So, of course, Mexico has not had a race since Formula E earlier this year. .34.1, so I went a second quicker. That's because I have and also the ERS doesn't burn a lot in the wet versus in the dry, so there's another definition as far as that's concerned. Hulkenberg's out there on the wet
15
tire.
minutes till we see this heavy rain ease up into light rain.
So I want to get about a couple of laps. Tell Jeff what I thought about the conditions. I know the conditions are a little bit tricky, but I know once the track starts to dry, then we're going to start seeing some faster times. Plus, the qualifying pace, we're actually going to wait and save that for the Hypersoft tire. So that's interesting. Of course, Hypersoft making their penultimate appearance this season. They won't be with us till Abu Dhabi. The good news is we get to use the Hypersoft tires since Abu Dhabi is always dry, because I mean we're in the desert, so no rain in the desert. Thank goodness for that. At least we will have a dry race. At least we start the season with a dry race. We end the season with a dry race. So that's good news. Start running some quicker lap times, just getting some laps under my belt, see what the track conditions are like. Of course, the USGP, we had a dry session all weekend. Here, we only have like one wet session. Half the session's wet, and then it'll be dry for the second half of the session, so it sucks, but hey, what do you expect?
There's 9 laps of fuel remaining.
And he said 15 minutes until we see light rain. I mean, some people will probably run some faster laps than me. But I'm just probably going to sit in the garage, get this car nice and dry, and then we can go back out there for, so we can get out there for our practice deal, which more than likely it will mean we'll have to sit in the garage. Yeah, there's the podium right there,
Right, come in at the end of this lap.
Gonna box this lap. Don't need to be out there. At least I'll get a fresh component. This weekend I'm gonna try to, as I'm recording this weekend I need to start getting try to get Brazil done as quickly as I can, and then I can work on Abu Dhabi. And then we're done with this career mode. Yay. God, it's been a fucking nightmare trying to do this career mode. Then we can worry about the F1 2019 career mode. Hooray! I know a lot of you are really excited. Because we're gonna start in Austria. Park the damn car. You know what they need? They need rain jackets for the pit crew. Did 4 laps on wets. Now I'm back into a nice dry garage. Alright.
Okay, with conditions as they are, I'd suggest you take a set of full wets.
Alright. We're gonna be right back. Alrighty.
Okay, with conditions as they are, I'd suggest you take a set of full wets.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna run our practice program in this session unless the track starts getting better. As I said before, you know, I'd rather run in dry conditions.
This downpour will last for another 10 minutes, then we expect conditions will transition to light rain. Full wets seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
Yeah, that's not good news, if you ask me. Well, it's good news as far as the rain is concerned, because we haven't had rain in a while in a practice session, but that's not doing me any favors of trying to get some on-track activities going on. Because I know when we go to intermediate tires, we're going to be a lot quicker. I mean, we're supposed to be doing our free practice, our stuff, but because it's raining, it's not doing our allocations any favors. Even though it's still early in the session. At least, like I said earlier, you know, you got a good session of where, you know, you get to run your dry tires later in the session, you know. I figure out what that building is right there, because when I ran here in the F1 2017 career mode, I'm thinking to myself, what in the hell is that building? So. Final race here in North America. When we go to our only race in South America in 2 weeks' time, which is Interlagos in Sao Paulo. That track has always been the shortest. I did well in the F1 2017 career mode.
The radar's showing a clear patch on its way. There's about 10 more minutes of this rain.
Jeez Louise. It can't come here soon enough. And again, I'm not a fan of what rain races or sessions that are soaking wet. Rather, not a huge fan of that, if you ask me. I mean, rain is good, but it's just not fun, you know, having to try to avoid all the spray on these cars. You know, it sucks. Of course, we're on the full wets, that blue stripe Pirelli tire. Then we're supposed to get a, I want to get like at least two practice programs, because then I can do the rest on, you know, an FP2. At least FP2 is going to be a lot better than FP1. Of course, you know, this is the long way to turn 1. This is the longest run you go down to turn 1 in throughout the entire career mode. I just don't have any grip on this. Plus the track is green, slip sliding around. Not a huge fan of this session, if you ask me. So remember, we have to return the 2 dry tires, not the 2 yeah, I can't see worth a crap. Let's see if I can give some room for... Yeah, I was coming up to the back of Science, so let me give him some room. Box this lap.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
I did that intentionally. The reason I don't want to run in the back of people is because I don't want the front wing to be destroyed. You know, that's why I just said, you know what? I'm going to give you plenty of room, Carlos, so that way I don't get hit. This is where the podium's going to be, right in this stadium section. Yeah, I'm not having fun in this wet weather environment. Ah, shit, I sped. Time to get me in the garage. We can put on the intermediate tires, that green stripe brand. If this was in qualifying, we would have had a free tire choice. Just being honest here.
When you get a chance, make sure to run some of our practice programs. They don't all need to be done in one session, but there's valuable data there to help race strategy and car development.
Yeah, I've learned that like how many times now? Well, of course, we're going to have 5 more minutes of this wet weather. I mean, a few of us have already taken time. I've only completed 6 laps on the wets. And we already have, like, a clear patch coming, so let's get on to the intermediates. Looks like we made the right call. So the times are going to start getting faster, and then once the track starts to dry, we can go ahead and put on the dry tires. Yep, now everybody's starting to switch over to the intermediate tires, that green striped tires. That's good for light rain. Weather report.
Repeat that. There's interference.
Weather report.
Looks like the weather is going to dry up in about 5 minutes. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Well, let's go get a lap in, and then I can switch over the dries. Yeah, Mother Nature is like playing games with us. Of course, Valtteri Bottas goes out on inters and puts the quickest lap time of the session. Until we put on the dry tires, and yeah. So, finally we'll be done with this freaking rainstorm. Shit. That was not fun running the full wet. I'm going to be running at least 4 compounds in this session. My 2 dry tires, 1 of my intermediates, and a full wet. Looks like we don't need those tires for the rest of the weekend, the rain tires, but the dry tires we'll definitely use for the rest of the weekend. Because I've seen the weather report, and I was talking about this earlier, you know. Since this was only in free practice 1, this is good news. I'm guarantee you the rain won't be rain could be a factor for Brazil, because if it rains in qualifying, like throughout the entire session, and the race is dry, we get a free tire choice. I want to get away from that red stripe super soft tire, because that tire is not going to help me at all as far as the pace is concerned, and I just went to the top of the timesheets by 2 seconds. So, sweet. And they said 5 minutes, so I just got a quick lap in. So, of course, our tires we have to use is the Ultra and the Super Soft. Hyper. What I might do is I might pull a strategy like what I did in the F1 2019 career mode. Run these two, save this one for the
I'd take a set of intermediates in these unpredictable conditions. Our best lap so far is a
well, they said it was going to be 5 minutes, but they lied. Oh, 10 minutes. One more lap wouldn't hurt. And then we can go run our dry tires. Yeah, one more lap wouldn't hurt. So they start putting us on slicks. And let me just tell you guys, you got to be extremely careful when you go out on slicks on a greasy racetrack, because if you're not careful, one of two things can happen. You could A, unsettle the car, and the car will not have a lot of, and remember, like I said, slick tires don't have a lot of grip. You know, when the track is green. It's going to take laps to get these tires up the temperature, because we have to get rid of all the spray first, number one. Number two, you got to be careful when you go wide, because if you go wide, it's like being on an ice rink. And if you're not careful, you could end up hitting the tire wall or spinning out. So you got to be extremely careful on a damp racetrack like this. That's why I'm going to run another lap on intermediate tires before I even think about running my practice programs on the Ultra or the Super Soft tire, because running on and that's why I went out early, because I didn't want to run my practice programs, because had I done that, A, that would have screwed my tire strategy, but B, I feel like I want to wait till the track got nice and dry to run my practice program. So it's called being smart and thinking outside the box, thinking, okay, if I go out on slicks now, I would be losing grip like hand over fist, and there was really no point for me to go out on a set of slick tires when the track is greasy like it is right now. So that's why you have to run a set of intermediates. That's why you're seeing me running like a lap or two. Oh wow, a 31 flat. I went 0.2 of a second quicker.
Radar is clear. Weather is looking good for now. Inters seem like the fastest tyre for now.
Yeah, but we gotta get rid of all the spray. That's the problem, folks. That's why you're seeing us still on intermediate tires. We're trying to get rid of all the spray from the track, so that's why we're not ready to go on slicks just yet. We still got to get all the spray out. And the drivers would absolutely agree with me, because like I said, I've run this track one time in the F1 2017 career mode, and we always ran the Ultra Soft tire. It was, I think, the Ultra Soft, the Soft, and the Medium. I'll have to go back through the video. I know the Ultra Soft was one of the tires we ran in the F1 2017 career mode, but this time with the Hyper Soft tire, instead of the Ultra being the grippiest tire, it is now the second medium grip, and the Super Soft is the Enduro tire. I think it was the Super Soft that was the medium grip, and the Soft was the longest. I don't know. I can't remember. But by the time you're watching this premiere, I'll have the answer to that question for you guys. But again, We cannot go out on slicks just yet. Ooh, and I might get the speed trap, and I do. Hallelujah. So. And you know, and I've run these F1 cars, you know, for now that I've played the F1 2017, I now know what the car can do. You know, you gotta predict the weather, like you gotta predict the story. I mean, you have to predict what's gonna happen next. It's like predicting a story from a bedtime story. You gotta predict the unpredictable. What do you think will happen next? Because, like I said, you know, now the track is starting to dry. But the next question is, do you take the risk of running slick tires right now? But remember, you're on a greasy track. You gotta hope and pray. You gotta hope and pray that two things need to happen. Number one, you gotta hope and pray you don't ruin those set of slicks, because you might need them later in the session when the track is fully dry. That's number one. Number two, you got to be very careful. You got to get those slicks up to temperature, as I went 0.7 of a second quicker. It's almost like Azerbaijan with that front straightaway, because like I said, you're on the ooh, I ran a little wide there. I think we're starting to get the track dry. I think I'm gonna abort this lap.
Right, come in at the end of this lap.
Yeah, let's get off these tires. I think it's dry enough to go ahead and start thinking about slicks. Yeah, it's dry enough. Let's just get to the garage and get those slick tires, as I said before, onto the car.
Okay, some quick lap times are now being posted. It's getting faster out there.
Yep, there you go. Now I am on the red stripe super soft tire. Now we're gonna start getting our times quicker. As I said before, you gotta take it easy on these slicks. Now it's time to get some rubber on the track. No more rain after that mess. Shit. Yeah, we're starting to see some quick times. Here we go. Wah! .06 kilometers an hour. I'm gonna try to get all of these tests done as quickly as I can, so I can just run, you know, my dry tires. Well, at least we get to run them for the entire weekend, so that's good news. I think the crowd's happier now that we're seeing all of us now on slicks. If this was in the race, you know, pretty much those guys that were on inters and full wets, you know, they would have been screwed. But since we're on slicks and the track is dry, at least this happened in a free practice session. I can't imagine what it would have been like if this wasn't a race, if you know what I mean.
Great stuff. You pretty much nailed this circuit. This is a really strong
10
foundation to build
seconds
from over the
quicker.
weekend.
Sheesh. .18 kilometers an hour. So I went a little bit quicker as far as the tires are concerned. Kimi is now P2. Forgot to mention the point scenario going into this race. Based off the results what we had last time out in Austin at Circuit of the Americas, we did not lose points, we did not gain points. In fact, we stayed right where we were leaving Japan. So I think that's just a win-win for us, if you know what I mean. It's great that we didn't lose points. It's not so great we didn't gain points, because that was our target, is that we need to gain points on Ferrari if we're going to have a chance. And I know Ferrari's going to have a good car this weekend, but if they have to take grid penalties, like me, that could put them in a good spot to get better.
We got a lot of valuable information out of that.
Wow, a 120 flat. Boy, we're cruising on those super soft Pirelli compound tires. And guess what? We are halfway through the session, so hooray. We're going to take a break and be right back, everybody. And welcome back to the Mexican Grand Prix Free Practice 1 for the F1 2018 Career Mode. We just got done with our first practice program, because we've ran the first 10 laps of this session in monsoon conditions, and now the sun is out, and now we are on the purple striped ultra soft Pirelli compound. There's 3 this weekend. We have the hyper soft, the ultra soft, and the super soft, which you saw in our first program. I don't know where we are as far as the session's concerned. Of course, I ran a strategy in Austin, because what I did is I stayed away from the ultra soft and went with the red stripe super soft compound, and I felt like that was a very good strategy. Now here's the thing I could do in this race. This is a 70+ lap race. I think 71 to be exact. I don't know how many laps until we get to the race on Sunday. What I might do for the race is I want to do what I did in Austin to last time out. Yeah, Hulkenberg's going to ruin my lap a little bit, but I need to be patient with him, because I can get around him when I get there. That's why I'm going to be patient. That's why I said the word patient. Carlos Sainz goes to P2. Pushes Kimi Räikkönen down the third.
We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes.
Are you kidding me?
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can talk you through the numbers.
Why? We just started running dry tires, now rain's coming. Oh, fun.
Our best lap
Welcome
so
to
far
fucking
is a
F1.
1:19.7.
Well, I'm going to have to hurry with the program. Whatever I don't complete in this session, I'll complete in FP2 with the other tires. Because remember, I'm going to take an engine penalty for this race. And even if I get knocked out of qualifying, I was going to start the back anyway, gives me a free tire choice, so I can pick whatever tire I can start the race on. My best bet, I could probably start on the super soft tire, and then go ultras to the end. Do like a 50 lap stint or something like that on the super soft, and then pit for ultras, and then I'm all good to go at the end of the race. Hate getting on the curb and just upsets the car. probably save the grippiest tire. I'm gonna probably save the ERS and the ERS, the qualifying simulation, and the race program for FP2, because I'm gonna run half of it, because we had to run the first part with rain, with the wet tires. I guess that was an okay lap.
Okay, decent lap there, but there's still more to find. Keep at it.
That was good. That was good. Alright. So what we can just do is we're gonna do 3 in this session. What do we have to do? We have to do car setup. I can do that. Go back on these tires. I'm not putting a fresh set of super sauce on. I just need to get... I'll save the other 3 for FP2, and then final practice we'll just go balls to the wall. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to take an engine penalty just because I'm worried I'm going to have an engine failure in the race, so better be safe than sorry. I've already won the championship, so I can just take an engine penalty. We should be fine. Not going to be a big deal. Did that after this session. I know it won't do me any good, but if I start the race on super softs, here's what I think could happen. Say, for example, if I start the race on super soft tires, I can do one of 2 things. I might get away with it, but the question is, say if I do go to super soft tires, I can go very long on a stint. Because they're like, I think it's like 40 something laps on these tires. I'm gonna have to double check to confirm it. But if I start the race on super soft tires with the engine penalty, I can stay out as long as I can, because I cannot switch over to the super soft tire for the mandatory, because I've used one of the mandatory tires. What I could do is I can run super softs all the way to possibly lap I was gonna get a drop behind Ericsson so I can try to get top speed for. I had a quick lap going, and then I hit the curb, and that cost me time. Now, even if I don't make it through to Q...
Okay, we don't think we're far away from some rain. I'll keep you updated as the conditions change.
Let's hope not. I don't want another fucking rain race. Let's get that right. Might have picked up a 10th through the stadium section. Ah, shit, I ran wide. That's gonna cost me a little bit. Nope.
The time last lap was a 1 minute 19.7.
Barely went to the top of the... Barely improved that time. Ran 3:34. I want to stay behind Hulkenberg. Sorry, Hulkenberg, didn't mean to do that. Hopefully I didn't get a grid penalty for that. Well, to be honest with you, it really doesn't matter because I'm already starting at the back anyway, so... Oh no, I did not get a grid penalty, surprisingly. 2 invalid lap times. Prez got his lap invalid. Same with the next one. Same with Gasly. Shit. Surprisingly, I didn't get a penalty.
Our best lap so far is a 1:19.7.
Go run one more lap. Go run. Try to go see if I can get faster on these ultras. Free practice 2, we should be fine. Oh, don't freaking... Oh, it's starting to rain. Son of a wagon. How about the last person want to see that was me?
You're doing well out there. Keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain. 10 minutes. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
I don't think it's going to rain that much. We should be fine. Nope, these ultras are not doing me any favor, so... The good news is I'm happy to run dry tires. The bad news is Ricciardo and Sainz didn't expect Renault to have a good weekend. They were looking like they were going to have a podium in Austin. Strategy just screwed them big time. But still, it was a fantastic weekend by both them and Haas going in after Circuit of the Americas. I think we're done. I I was trying to go for a quicker lap, but I knew we were losing time like hand over fist, so we are done. I say the sentence, we are done.
An interesting practice session there then. Let's remind ourselves of the top three, who are Blue, Ricardo,
The fuck did my where did my teammate go?
Practice
Damn,
time
17.
with no points to run off of just yet. We'll be back with more F1 action soon.
Alright, we'll see you for free practice 2 here in Mexico City. But for now, from us, from Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, we'll see you later.